Hey there, another day. It's actually been a couple days since I last recorded. I've had just quite a few other things to do, but I think we're actually finally at the point where I can mark some things off. Since the main part of the wiring is stripped, so we'll mark that off. And then the front clip is off now, so now we got to pull the body. Also, ordered some headers for this, some shorties, that I don't know if they're gonna work. We're gonna find out when they get here. So I think they might. I've been staring at them. I stared at this. I stared at them on the pictures on both sides, and I think it'll work. They said they won't work. I think they will work. We're going to find out. But that's not for today. I need to get this body off here. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I do know that the fuel line, I got to go down there and look at the fuel line. So up here it's connected to the frame down there, so that isn't going to move. It's connected to the torque box down here, so I don't need to mess with that. This park brake cable, though, I need to get in there, and I got to take the park brake cable off. And then I figure I haven't actually been under the car. I did an oil change, so I've been under the front, but I haven't been under the middle or anything beyond the front there. So I really need to get on the creeper, wherever there it is, and then look at stuff and see what I'm doing. But I think I'm going to disconnect this park brake cable first. It should be simple. We're going to find out. So let me get on that. No, I'd bring you guys in here to look. Maybe I will. I'll just do it. You don't need to see that. It's fine. All right, I got that park brake off. It was just a clip on there that holds it up in the bracket, and then that little ball just pops out of the bracket in there and on the inside. But I'm gonna get underneath now and kind of assess what I need to do real quick, and then I'll see where I'm going from there. Basically, trying to figure out what's easier. I don't know if the tank is held in place by the body, or like if it's attached to the body, or if the tank is attached to the frame. I think it's to the body. And if it's attached to the body, and the fuel line is ran all the way along the body, then I'll just disconnect it from the torque box up here and from the carburetor, and we'll just pick the fuel line up with the body. Because I'd hate to be under there and disconnect that whole thing from crawling underneath it. Of course, I need to get back there to look at the tank, and I got all my stuff in the way, so I'll move all this, I guess. Now it's in my way back here instead of in my way back here. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so disconnected up at the torque box. And the brake lines are ran on the frame as well. The park brake is disconnected. So it should just be body mounts, which I don't know how to access. Maybe from the bottom, I don't know. So let me disconnect this guy there and here and make an absolute mess. And spill fuel all over the place. Sounds like a great idea to me. All right. Alright, I guess all that fuel evaporated. That's neat. Good stuff. Can't complain about that. Not making a mess. Cool. Doesn't even smell like gas, which is interesting. That's fine. This thing is held in place by, oh, that just, alright. Just pry up on that, it'll come off. There we go. We'll move this guy over here, and that guy over there. And the speedometer cable is kind of the next thing. I wonder if that's, was that held in? Okay, speedometer cable is loose now, and it'll just come out as the body goes up. I'm not going to push it through. It doesn't seem to want to do that. I'm not going to force it. Also, guys, I figured out that the brake was not leaking. The brake reservoir, master cylinder, wasn't leaking. That's all that grease and grime and oily stuff is actually from the valve cover leaking. So I didn't even check to see if those bolts were loose. I figured that's a problem for another day when we get to putting things back together. Well, I mean, I can check and see if those bolts are loose now. I don't know. By hand it doesn't do much, but that's fine. I'm not worried about it right now. Yeah, so let me get to, I need to see if I'm working with these body mount bolts from the top or the bottom. Because there is a nut on the top here, though. Getting in there is a fun time. So now let me move this toolbox back into my way down there instead of in my way over here. Let me see if I can access this. You cannot. There is no access from the back. Okay. How about from... Nope. Okay, that's a topper. Doing it from the top. Looks like... Are there only 4? I don't know if... I might be wrong, but it looks like there's only 4, like, body mount locations. It looks like there's 2 here, 2 there, and then there's 1 way back there and where the trunk is. I don't know if that's right. I don't see anything along here where there would be a body mount. Everything seems to be, unless there's these rubber things in the floor. Which is nothing. Good. So now I'm never going to be able to get that back in there, but I think it's just those 4. But I have to go through the trunk for the other ones, which is going to be fun. The trunk lock doesn't do its thing properly. It's just a pain. It's alright though. Let me see here. What size are we dealing with? These are metric impact sockets, but it's fine. Ooh, 17 fits pretty good. Pretty good. Alright. I don't know why I chose to, I'm going to use the, my regular ratchet. Hopefully I can get enough swing there. That might not work out. Oh, I just thought of this. I was looking up alternators today while I was having breakfast, and I noticed everybody on the forums is talking about the Ford 3G alternator for a good transplant or update for these things. And if I get like a 95 Mustang alternator G3G, it'll work good. and I just have to switch the pulley over, and I have to get a pigtail for the connector and wire that in. And it ranges, the amperage ranges from like 75 to 200 amp alternator, so I think I'm gonna go with that once I figure out what mounting style I need. I gotta stare at that one for a while to figure that out, but those are 1 wires, and they said it'll work better with the dummy light in the dash, which I don't really care. I'm not gonna hook the dummy light back up because I'm gonna have a voltmeter, like a gauge somewhere for voltage somewhere in there. So, but yeah, that's what the research brought me to, is the Ford 3G. Just swap the pulley out to a V-belt, or swap everything else over to a serpentine. I'm just going to swap to a V-belt because I don't want to get into a whole serpentine kit. Not yet. Maybe someday. Alright, so 17. Not a 17 probably, but it fits. So we're going to try it at first. If I can get it on there. Unless the impact is slightly... Oh, there we go. Okay. Wasn't really that tight, to be honest with you. Oh, I should tell you guys the plan. So the plan that we came up with for now, gonna get all the body mounts disconnected, obviously, and then we're gonna jack the body up and put it on jack stands just initially, and then we're gonna build a structure, and we're gonna put the body all the way up as close to the ceiling as we can get to get enough clearance, because I want to roll the chassis out. I want to take the chassis outside so I can pressure wash everything and paint everything and whatnot, because I got to get all this grease and crap off of here. I felt like that would be really cool. Plus I got that'll give me access to that transmission output seal I can get to real easy, and I can get to the pinion seal, which I just realized is now leaking too. I can redo those without any trouble because everything will be exposed on there. And originally I was going to take the alternator and everything, or the radiator and the front support off and everything, but there's no point to doing that because that's the highest point. We're not taking the engine out, so we got to get this up above. Now the body does come down, here farther than it does in the middle, so we might have to take the support out and we might end up taking the radiator out and everything, but I'd like to avoid it if I could. But if I do, well, I might do it anyway. I think I'm just gonna, guys, I don't think I'm making it to Kentucky. Okay. In December, that's the trip. We're going to Kentucky. I don't think it's happening because I need to get a new radiator for it. So, and all this stuff, time is not really my problem here. I think I can get everything done in the time that I have, but money's the problem. I can't afford to purchase all these things that I need to get this thing going. The alternator, the radiator. I got to flush the whole engine too. I can't forget that. And then I want to do, these suspension bushings, they look okay, but I'd like to, while I'm here, guys, I'm basically going full restoration. I'm basically committing to the full restoration at this point. And I don't want you guys to get anything mixed up. I don't mean show car. I'm not talking about a show car, and I'm not doing parts matching or anything like that. When I say restoration, I predominantly mean resto mod. I'm making the car exactly what I want the car to be. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. So, but I want to go in there, like I said, take the bumper off, paint the inside of the bumper, the back end here, that's all rusty, paint the brackets for it, paint the whole frame, paint these upper control arms, and yeah, I'd love to powder coat, and we want to get to that point. When we build the new garage, we have an oven. We're going to get a new oven for the house here, and then we're going to take our current oven and we're going to put it in there, so then I can do some powder coating at home and all that stuff. But that's for a later date. For now, everything's just going to get paint, and I've had really good luck. I have used the Rust-Oleum self-etching primer on everything. And I daily drive my 2003 F350 with a V10. And you can say whatever you want about the V10, I don't care, I like it. But I rebuilt that engine. Literally, I pulled it out of a parts truck, 130,000 miles, nothing was wrong with it, ran great. And I rebuilt the whole thing so that I knew everything was definitely good. And that engine did not need to be rebuilt. That thing was good. I mean, we saved the bearings because the bearings were good. It was in great shape. But I reburied all bearing seals and everything. It was a fun project. It was good. We got it in the truck now, and it's been running great since. Made a little mistake with the valve train. I think there's a lash adjuster, I believe, that's not having a fun time. It's tic-tac and clickety-clack and whatnot. But I used the self-etching primer and then like 3 coats of paint on the engine on everywhere. And I've driven it now probably 5,000 miles on the rebuilt engine. A little maybe more than that. And man, that paint is holding up great. Everything that I do, the self-etching primer and then several coats of regular paint, we don't have any issues with it. Now, I've been told by several people and even the forums, they'll tell you, use POR 15 on the frame and whatnot and all these components. And I've used POR 15. My dad and I, we used the 3-step process on the POR 15 where we degreased everything, then we used the etching stuff, for the zinc coating etching thing that they have, the metal prep, and then we used the POR 15, and they say to put 3 coats on everything. That was ideal. Now we did that on the whole frame of a truck, and I mean, it's been about 6 years and the rust started coming through like within a year. And I've had people tell me that you can paint over rust with the POR 15. That's what it stands for, paint over rust. And they say they haven't, they let it outside for a decade and it never rusted. So I don't know if we did something wrong, but it didn't work for us. I don't really care to go through all that. Plus, POR 15 is extremely expensive. I'm not doing that. So we're just going to avoid that. This body mount just seems to be spinning. I don't know what I'm doing here, so I don't know if I can't access the back end of it, but I feel like I'm not doing anything here. Like it's just spinning. It's hard to tell. I can't see obviously with the socket over it, I can't. Let me try this one. Oh, that one. Oh, that's nice. Let me try a wrench. I need like a bent wrench. I don't have any bent wrenches. Was it 5/8? No, 3/4. I don't know what 17 is close to. It's standard. Yeah, the whole thing's spinning. Great. What do I do about that now? I think the only reason this torque box is not rotted out is because it's covered in oil. So the body mount's spinning, good. And this kit doesn't have the right size wrench. Whatever 17 is close to, let me find out. It's probably 11/16 or something. Alright guys, so I tried using an impact with a wobble socket to get in there and it just spins. And thank goodness, Ford decided they were going to completely box in the entirety of the torque box. So the nut that's supposed to be captive on every single one of these is just broken loose and spinning. So I have no way to get that out traditionally or just from the top. I now have to get my angle grinder out and cut an access hole somewhere, and I'm going to just cut right in the front here, and I'm going to cut a nice access hole in the front of my torque box on both sides so I can get a wrench on the nut in there, or vice grip, or whatever I need to do to get that off, so that I can get these stupid body mounts off. And then from the research I did, it looks like there's a body mount right over the axle, and then there's one at the frame, at the back of the frame, I should say, under the trunk. Now, I know from looking under there, the trunk side, you have to access from inside the trunk, and the frame is also boxed in there. So I'm sure that nut's also, I'm sure I'm going to be cutting holes and stuff. I really didn't want to have to do this. This is stupid. That really annoys me quite a bit, to be honest with you, that I have to do this. I don't know, this fuel line doesn't even smell like fuel. I don't even smell gas in the whole garage, even though I know for a fact that I put 20 gallons of 87 octane in the tank, and it did run, and it did pull fuel. So I don't know what that's all about, but we're going to not worry about it, and I'm just going to push this line out of the way somewhere. Tuck it in, maybe the bottom. I'll just tuck that right up in here, and hopefully we don't have a little explosion or a fire of any kind. We'll see. I don't think we will, but anyway, put the park brake cable over here. Yep, I love cutting things. That's wonderful. Alright, well, I better get to it. Also, don't forget safety. Alright guys, so after having cut the access hole now, I've discovered that, yes, that the body mounts are spinning. However, there is a nut plate like clip under there, and I was actually spinning the stud up out of it. And so now, as you can see, well, I don't know if you guys can really see it, but I'm actually able to separate the body from the frame with the pry bar here. So I did not have to cut a hole in the torque box. So I'll just re-weld that back up, and we'll act like that never happened, and it'll be fine. That's a real shame. And yep, okay, so yeah, it's a real shame. But now we know. So now we know on the other side it's that simple. Let me get on to that. I'll position you guys over there. I know that you guys can't quite see in that area. It's kind of dark, so I apologize for the lack of lighting, but I mean, you know what I'm doing here, so. You know, you guys need to make sure if you ever go to do something like this that you have a whole bunch of garbage just, well, it's not garbage, but just have a bunch of crap taking up space in your garage so that you basically can't do anything without hitting or running into something else. That makes it just, I mean, it's part of the, it's part of the adventure. You just need that experience. Yep, that one's loose now. Alright, I gotta head to the trunk now. I just want to note to you guys the just sheer amount of space that's in the back of one of these things. I mean, look, that is a whole box that you can get three quarts of oil in one of those boxes, and it just tucks right up in there out of the way, and you still have this whole trunk that I guarantee you a 6'1" man could lay down in. I mean, you'd be in the fetal position, but you'd be in there. Anyway, I haven't had a chance to clean this out. I also have another box over here. So I need to figure out where these body mounts are. I think there's one down here where you guys are looking at the moment. Right there, I believe there's one somewhere under this carpet here. So I gotta move all this stuff, all my wiring things, and this box. I don't remember what's in the box. Oh, and there's zip ties. And there's this something else. Big. Ooh, that's a big zip tie. That's a nice one. Pull this carpet up here. Oh, they did insulate this. That's neat. Haven't had a chance to look at the trunk floor at all. And so far, it looks pretty good over here. Okay, I wonder if that grommet there is where I need to be. Let me get you guys put somewhere so I can do more than one hand here. There we go. That's pretty decent. But we can't move it any farther forward, so luckily I'm skinny and small, and I can fit in here pretty good. Ooh. Wow, yeah, this needs to be redone. I mean, it's not soft yet, but it needs redone bad. Oh, there's a drain. That's all right. Wow, everything is, yep. Get this out of here. What are we looking at? I'm pretty sure that's the access hole for that bad boy. Would you stay out of my way? My goodness. You need to provide me light right there. Why is there junk all over this? Give me that. The rubber's so hard I can't even flex it. There we go. Come on. What, do they glue it in? What in the world? What a bunch of weirdos. Ow. Almost stabbed myself. Would have been nice. Wow, I just cannot. Negatory. That is not the access hole for that. Alright. Can't get that one back in. Perfect. Where is I assume the frame rail goes right there. I mean, unless that's just a drain hole. Oh boy. Oh, that's got screws in it. I just broke it a little bit. That's fine. I know there's one over the axle, which should be over here. Ah, there's that one. I don't know if you guys can see that. I cannot get the impact in there, so I gotta get a ratchet. 5/8 maybe? Yep. Yeah, that's just spinning. Okay. Moving on. There's that one. Oh. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that'll work. I mean, you can't really. You know what I'm doing, though. It's a bolt. This is a socket and a ratchet. I'm on the thing doing the stuff. Oh, that one came all the way out. So that's good. This one is this one's gonna be a troublesome little guy. Okay, I see. Now, on the forums I saw there are rubber donuts on the frame, so that's probably what that was. And they don't actually have a body mount there, but it looks like there's a body mount in way back here. There it is, right there. Can't really see it too good, but it is right here. That one I can use the impact on, but it's of course the wrong size. Well, that might, I'm willing to, yeah, I'll take the chance. We'll try to strip it out. Why not? Yeah. There we go. Got her. Now I gotta get that one over there, so I'll move you guys over here. Oh. Is that original blue paint there? Hey, that might be your original. Let me show you guys that. Looks like I just found original blue paint. That's what that thing used to look like. That's pretty neat, huh? Alright, I gotta pull that out of here. Okay, that one came out so easy. I thought it was spinning. It was not spinning. Alright. I believe it's ready. Let's figure this out. I'm actually going to go down and pull this trim off of here the rest of the way before I break it, because it's aluminum and, you know, I'm sure it wants to break. Of course, a lot of it is like screwed in, I think, at least up in the front there. Quite a bit of it was. No screws here, just clips. There's another clip that broke. That's nice. Interesting. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I like how they're plastic. That's, you know, convenient. Oh, they're riveted in, and they're plastic. Even better. That's good. Okay, so I gotta get jack stands quick. Well, I lifted it up from the floor. The floor is currently bulging up. It's fine. I think it'll be okay. It's holding for now. It's pretty sturdy. I'm gonna let it go for now. There's no way to do this not sketchily without a lift. So I don't know where's a structural point on. I tried this corner here. It just started to collapse. That's because that's not really. Yeah, that's not a good spot. I could do it here. I don't know what that would do. I'll think about it while I'm over the other side. I don't know. This could get worse. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. I'm just gonna keep going. Very sturdy. So there's a structural support about center of the door that I jacked it up from, but obviously I can't jack it up from there and place the jack stand underneath the same spot. So I don't know, the floor kind of gets pushed up a bit when I do that, but it's holding for now and it's sturdy. So I'm going to keep going. I wish I could make a larger platform underneath, or jack it up from a different spot and then put the jack stand there. Wish I had. I need the jack stand. I need a jack stand with a like large base. I don't have any like that. I don't know. It might be okay. I think I'm gonna have to open the garage door now to jack up the back end. Alright, let's get to it. I'm going to take this handle off again. I ain't picking the jack up off the ground because I'll blow 40,000 of my vertebrae out. I have to say, it does hurt my soul a bit that that the floor is bowing, because the body on this car is the best part of the whole, well, you know, aside from the beautiful 390 cubic inch big block under the hood, but I don't know what else to do. So we're just going to keep going with it like that. Now eventually we're going to have a, like I said, a frame under it, so we'll support it from where these structural points are here in the floor, and it should be fine. But for now, that's what we're doing. Hopefully it's not too heavy. I don't think it's that heavy. I mean, it's got the glass is heavy, but the interior stripped, so at least that, you know, we have that. The hood, of course, is on the roof of the car, but excuse me. But we'll see what happens from here. I gotta get those tools off of there. You know, guys, so there it is. It is all the way up off the frame. You know, I had a thought. Hear me out. Lifted Galaxie. No, I'm just kidding. Although that would be really funny, but no, we're not doing that. But you know, maybe someday. I don't know. Rally car? Anyway, that's about it there. We have to build a structure now, and like I said, we got to get it up, so I'm going to figure that out, and I'll bring you guys back then. This video has taken me much longer to make than I thought it would. It is currently Friday, in which I wanted to have the video up today on Friday. However, as you can see, not done yet. You saw yesterday we got the back up, so now I got to get the front up today, which is going to be a little difficult because I can only lift one side at a time due to the drivetrain being in the way. And so hopefully I can get this done today and I'll get the video up Saturday or Sunday is the plan. But I also don't want to lose out on my Saturday or Sunday to start working on the frame finally. So maybe I'll get it done Monday, get it out Monday or something like that. We'll see. The frame is going to take a little bit, I imagine, so that might take me a couple weeks to get that video out. I would like to get stuff done out weekly. I just don't have the time to do all that, but I'm trying my best. So let me get going with the front here. I only got limited time because I got stuff to do today. So let me get to this. We're gonna get her up. That'll be the end of the video. Hopefully, maybe I can get it edited today. Who knows? I'll try. I'll see what happens. So, there we go. It's now supported front and back. I'm gonna go make supports that go diagonally on this one like I did on the rears, because that thing is a little too wobbly for my liking. So I'll be right back with them. Yep, I'm gonna do that. I'm actually gonna put them on off camera. Guys, that is gonna be it for this video. I got it up, not as high as I wanted to, but I'm more comfortable. Once I have those diagonals in, I'm gonna be more comfortable. I can go back to the rear, and we can put the rear up where it's supposed to be, and then we can come back to the front, and we can put the front up to where it's supposed to be. I think that's much better. You know, you're supposed to go kind of slow. Obviously, we went really far in the back and then way up in the front, so we're in a much better spot now than we were before. I'm liking it. I got plenty of space to work on the frame, which is going to be the next video, guys. Finally, after all this time, the big thing that started this whole charades, I'm finally getting to in the next video. The frame is, I'm going to fix the frame finally. Like I said, this one's going to take me a couple weeks probably. I wish I could do it a little faster. Unfortunately, I have a lot of material that needs to cut. I'm going to be patching this frame. I'll show you. I'm going to plate the whole frame all the way around, and I have to think through how to do this properly without having to, without messing anything up. Don't want to warp the frame. I'll talk more about that in detail in that video, but for now, today, I'm done here. Finally got it up off the frame. You can do it without a lift. It's just really sketchy. So I just want to remind you guys, don't do what I do or what I say. I'm an idiot, nor am I, and I'm also not a professional of any kind. So do it the right way, not the sketchy way. But if you do it the sketchy way, be safe about it. Alright? That's all I can say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one when we fix that frame.